Hello, future specialist. Welcome to my channel. And if you are preparing for NBMS final diploma practical exams, then you've come to the right place. I'm Dr. Namnera, and today I'll guide you through the strategies and tips to excel in your practical exam. So let's get started. First, let's understand the distribution of marks. Your NBMS practical exams total for 300 marks, divided into 4 cases, 4 word rounds, and 2 to 4 tables. Remember, the NBMS diploma, unlike DNB, consists of 300 marks for practicals, just like the theory. And just like DNB, you have to pass the practicals and the theory simultaneously by getting 50% marks in each. Also, there is no OSCE. Yes, you heard it right. There is no OSCE. The most scoring part of NBMS exam, OSCE is not there. Let's begin with the most scoring one, which is totally in your hand. It depends on how much you know, how much you have read, and you already know everything about it. Yes, I'm talking about the table viva, which is worth 60 marks. Depending on your center, you might be getting 2 or 4 tables, but it will consist of the same things: instruments, specimen, contraceptive devices, maternal pelvis and fetal skull, CTGs and NSTs, investigations like USG and HSGs. Table viva is completely in your hand. You know the instruments beforehand, you know the investigations, you know the CTG, you know the partograph, you know the pelvis, you know the skull, the mechanism of labor. All these things you already know. There is nothing new the examiner could ask over that. So it should be completely on your tips. The instrument name, where it is used, who invented or discovered it, and the method of sterilization, which is very, very important. So these 60 marks are totally yours. Now let's come to the next most scoring aspect, the ward rounds. It's gonna be 4 post-operative cases. They're gonna be cases of laparotomy, hysterectomies, it could be vaginal or abdominal, OCS cases, and some diagnostic, maybe some endometrial biopsy, post-endometrial biopsy cases. It is going to be just like a normal post-operative round during your day. Our consultant or HOD just shows up, we present the round to him, he asks a couple of questions to us, he asks a couple of questions to the patient and counsels the patient. But the twist is, here you are going to be the consultant. There is going to be one PG or one person who's going to present that particular case to you. Then you are supposed to ask question to him or her and the patient, or examine the patient. Some morbidly obese women on the next post-operative day, and they have presented you the case, asking whether the DVT pump is applied over there, whether the woman has mobilized. These are the things that actually matters. What is the routine case, routine post-operative care? It's nothing rocket science, it's not difficult, it's totally in your hand. Now let's address the most challenging and time-consuming part, the clinical cases. There are going to be 4 clinical cases, each worth 50 marks, totaling for 200 marks. Typically, you're going to encounter 2 OBS cases, 2 gynae cases. These are the routine cases in your ANC OPD or in your gynecology OPD, like anemia in pregnancy, diabetes in pregnancy, hypertension in pregnancy, twins. For gynae part, it's going to be AUB, fibroid, carcinomas. While history taking and examination are the fundamental of case presentation, your score heavily depends on how you present your case, how you are interacting with the patient in front of the examiner, how you demonstrate your clinical skills, how you respond to the questions the examiner is asking, how confident you are. During your undergraduation days, you have presented the case. You have taken the history, you have examined the patient, you have answered the treatment and management part as well. But in post-graduation, they see how confident you are in presenting that particular part. Suppose there is just a normal anemia in pregnancy case. So where you are seeing the anemia, you have to say it out loud. Inspection part, overtly distended abdomen, you have to say that out loud. Where you are able to auscultate 2 different heart sounds, the 10 centimeter difference between 2, that you have to say it out loud. If you're not saying those things, you're not going to score higher than others. Case presentation, mostly they will ask you questions, and on that basis they will give you the passing marks. But your score actually depends on how well you are presenting, how extra you are saying it out. But don't try to be oversmart in front of the examiner. That's all about the exam. Now, there are few extra tips that I would like to give you people. First thing first, practice makes a person perfect. You're done with your theory. Now focus on your practical. You're going to duties every day, you are there every day. Take history, present it to your seniors, present it to your juniors or batchmates, and then discuss it. Point out each other's mistakes. Ask each other questions just like an examiner. So when you keep doing it, you will develop that confidence which is needed there in the final exam. Second things, there's a lot of time left. If you think, I don't have enough time, I'm just gonna read this book, this and that. No, there's enough time. If you start now, there are almost 60 days, a minimum what I'll say is of 60 days in your hand. So if you're doing one gynae case and one obs case per day, you'll finish it hardly in 10-15 days. You see these cases in OPD. Suppose some ANC patient, which is different, that came to you. You took the history fast, you examine the patient. Now ask your batchmate or senior to ask you questions on it. Or see how you are examining the patient, whether you have asked the patient to empty the bladder, folded the legs, or there's a pillow behind the shoulders, whether you ask for the permission, how well you are explaining to the patient. These communication skills matter the most in the DNB. While it might not matter that much in the MDMS part, for NBMS, how you communicate with the patient and how confident you are, that matters. Next thing which I wanted you people to know is the recent advances. Classification, FIGO classification of endometrium carcinoma has changed. Even you are supposed to know the guidelines. Don't miss the guidelines. Suppose hypertension, GDM. These are two most common things. ACOG, if ACOG guidelines is clear and available for that particular, you're supposed to know it. Second is RCOG. Then there is WHO. If for something none of these guidelines are there, then you can go for NIH or NHS or ICMR guidelines. But ACOG, RCOG, WHO. These three guidelines of anything that is available, you're supposed to know. FIGO is first for the carcinoma part, and then there is ESHRE and ASR and infertility part. Also, in recent advances, Surrogacy Act. This is very, very, very important. Suppose in post-op cases, you find this one patient of diagnostic laparoscopy for infertility. In that, Surrogacy Act is the one that is going to be asked to you. No matter what, that is going to be there. And if you get a case on infertility, please take history from the partner as well. You have to mention the history of partner. If you do not examine him, fine, but you have to take history from him as well. His occupation, social history, and addictions, these are must. Do not miss that. And there you have it, essential tips and strategies to excel your final NBMS practical exam. Preparation is the key. Start early, stay consistent, and you're gonna rock it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more tips and strategies related to NBMS diploma final exam, FAT exam. All the best.